reality may not be made of atoms. It may be made of code. Welcome to Information World. Look around you for a moment. The screen you're watching. The air in your lungs. The thoughts forming inside your mind. We call this reality. Solid. Physical. Objective. But what if everything we experience is not the base layer of existence? What if the universe is not a physical machine, but a computational one? This idea is known as the simulation hypothesis. It suggests that our universe could be an advanced computer program, running inside a reality far more fundamental than our own. Not a metaphor. Not science fiction. A literal program. The concept became widely discussed after philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a serious argument: if advanced civilizations can create detailed simulations of their ancestors, then statistically, it's more likely we are inside one of those simulations rather than living in the original physical universe. Think about that. Right now, humanity already builds virtual worlds. Video games contain landscapes, physics, characters, even artificial intelligence. As technology advances, simulations become more realistic. Virtual reality grows more immersive. Artificial intelligence becomes more autonomous. If progress continues for thousands or millions of years, future civilizations could simulate entire universes, complete with conscious beings inside them. If that is possible even once, then there could be billions of simulations for every single base reality. And if there are billions of simulated universes, the probability that we are living in the original one becomes extremely small. But this idea is not based only on philosophy. Some physicists have noticed strange features in our universe that look surprisingly computational. First, consider the speed of light. It is the maximum speed at which information can travel. Nothing moves faster. In computing terms, that resembles a bandwidth limit. A maximum data transfer rate. Why would reality have a speed limit unless it is processing information? Next, look at quantum mechanics. At the smallest scale, particles do not behave like solid objects. They behave like probabilities. A particle can exist in multiple states at once until it is observed. Only when measured does it collapse into a definite state. That sounds suspiciously similar to rendering in a video game. In many games, distant objects are not fully processed until the player looks at them. The system saves computational power by only rendering what is observed. Could quantum uncertainty be a kind of cosmic rendering optimization? Then there is the idea of digital physics. Some researchers propose that space and time may not be continuous. Instead, they may be made of tiny discrete units, like pixels on a screen. At the Planck scale, space and time appear quantized. There is a smallest measurable unit. That is exactly how digital systems work. Everything is built from bits. And speaking of bits, physicist John Archibald Wheeler proposed a radical phrase, "it from bit." He suggested that physical reality arises from information. Not matter. Not energy. Information. In our modern world, information is fundamental. Everything inside a computer reduces to binary code. 0 and 1. If the universe is computational, perhaps its deepest layer is also binary. Perhaps reality is not made of particles, but of fundamental informational states. Now let's take this further. If the universe is a program, then who or what is running it? Some imagine advanced post-human civilizations. Others imagine beings so far beyond us that we would interpret them as gods. But the simulation hypothesis does not require a religious explanation. It only requires technological capability. And here is where it becomes even more unsettling. If we are inside a simulation, then the laws of physics are not ultimate truths. They are rules. Configurations. Parameters set by whoever designed the system. Gravity is not sacred. It is code. The constants of nature may simply be values in a cosmic equation. Could they be changed? Some physicists have noticed that the constants of the universe are incredibly fine-tuned for life. If gravity were slightly stronger, stars would burn too fast. If slightly weaker, galaxies would not form. The strength of electromagnetic force, the mass of particles, the expansion rate of the universe all balanced with extreme precision. In a simulation, fine-tuning is expected. You adjust parameters until the system produces the desired complexity. But here's another question. If we are simulated, could we detect it? Some scientists have suggested searching for glitches in the matrix. Signs of computational limits. For example, if space-time has a maximum resolution, extremely high-energy experiments might reveal a grid-like structure. Others suggest looking for hidden code in cosmic background radiation like a signature left by the programmer. So far, we have found no clear evidence. But absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. And now comes the deepest layer of this idea. Consciousness. If we are inside a simulation, are we truly conscious? Or are we just advanced algorithms? This question forces us to confront what consciousness actually is. If a computer simulation can perfectly reproduce the structure of a human brain, and that structure generates awareness, then consciousness may simply be a pattern of information processing. In that case, being simulated would not make your experiences less real. Pain would still hurt. Love would still matter. Fear would still feel real. Because experience depends on structure, not on the material that structure is made from. In a video game, a digital character does not know it is digital. If it had awareness, its world would feel solid, physical, normal, just like ours does to us. Now imagine this. If our universe is a simulation, it might not even be the first version. It could be one of many iterations. A test. An experiment. A historical reconstruction. Perhaps the programmers are studying the emergence of intelligence. Or the collapse of civilizations. Or the nature of morality. Maybe they are trying to understand their own past. And here is where things become almost poetic. Inside our simulated universe, we are building our own simulations. Virtual worlds inside a virtual world. If we create conscious digital beings in the future, then we would become the gods of lower realities. A simulation inside a simulation. Layer upon layer. An infinite chain of realities, each believing it is the original. But before we go too far into speculation, we must remain grounded. The simulation hypothesis is not proven. It is a serious philosophical and scientific possibility, but it remains a hypothesis. Many physicists argue that quantum mechanics and relativity do not require a computational explanation. The mathematical structure of the universe does not automatically mean it is literally code. And even if it were a simulation, that does not change our daily lives. The sun would still rise. Actions would still have consequences. Meaning would still exist within the system. In fact, some argue that if this is a simulation, then existence is even more extraordinary. It means intelligence is powerful enough to create entire universes. It means reality is deeper than we imagined. But here is the final twist. If this is a program, then asking whether it is a program is itself part of the program. The curiosity you feel. The doubt. The wonder. The very act of questioning reality could be built into the system. Maybe self-awareness is the ultimate feature. So what if the universe is a computer program? Would it make your life less meaningful? Or more mysterious? Would morality disappear? Or become even more important if observers beyond our reality are watching? Perhaps the real question is not whether we are simulated. Perhaps the real question is why a universe simulated or not exists at all. And maybe, just maybe, the answer is waiting at a level of reality we cannot yet access. If this idea expanded your mind, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think we are living in base reality, or inside a cosmic program? Tell me in the comments below. I read them all. And if you enjoyed this journey into the nature of reality, don't forget to like and subscribe to Information World for more mind-expanding explorations.